Martha Arévalo is with us. She is the director of the Central American Resource Center, CARECEN. The website is CARECEN, CARECEN-LA.org. Martha, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Tom. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for joining us. The president took well, actually, I guess he's doing it today in Las Vegas, but he announced it last night, a fairly substantial step forward in the context of what he can do within the law, but it goes nowhere as far. Well, I shouldn't be saying this. Yeah, you should. What's your take on what the president said last night, what he's doing today, and what Congress could or should be doing, and this whole situation?
Well, I think you're exactly right. I think it's a step in the right direction to give protection from deportation to about 5 million people. This was one out of a long fight, and at the local level, at the national level, organizations and communities have been working and marching and getting arrested and raising their voices to make sure that we can protect as many people as possible from deportation. But so many million more are left out. And this is not a significant reform to our broken immigration system. That could, as you know, can only be done in Congress. So it's time for Congress to stop criticizing and talking about it, and to move and actually, act and do something. And we hope that they take it on as an issue of what is best for the country, and from the standpoint of how to keep more families together and how to develop and continue to grow our economy, instead from a standpoint of further militarization of the border. Right.
And what's your sense of where? I mean, the Republicans are already going hysterical. Larry Klayman and Sheriff Joe Arpaio have now sued the president on this. Good luck with that. But they're getting all kinds of airtime on right-wing radio and television, and people are calling Obama all kinds of names and whatnot. What's your take on the politics of this, if you don't mind my asking?
Sure. Well, we know that there's anti-immigrant sentiment, unfortunately, is alive and well in this country, and has often been used by politicians to mask other, very important issues of the country, and to put blame on somebody else instead of doing their job and making sure that there are Congress that can move forward and get things done. This is not a surprise to us that there's this uproar, but this is definitely a step that the president took after a lot of counsel and, looking into if this was within his power, and it's definitely within his power. It's not something new. It's something that's been done in the past. And this is merely, protecting people from deportation. About 5 million people. Is protecting people, parents of children of citizens or legal permanent residents, and an expansion of DACA, which has been already implemented since 2012. So, we really understand the politics, but it's time to do something. If they don't like what the president is doing, then I think that they need to come up with a better proposal and move forward on that.
Well, and that's the next point, I guess, is that the Senate actually had this debate. They deliberated this. It went through the committee process. It went through an amendment process. They produced a piece of legislation that is certainly not perfect, but it was it was much more than the president has the legal authority to do, and it passed with 68 votes in the Senate, which a bunch of Republicans as well as Democrats. It went to the House of Representatives a year and a half ago, and John Boehner has refused to allow the House to vote on it. Do you think that are you seeing any pressure on Boehner, or is this like a badge of honor that he can just block anything? I mean, he also hasn't allowed a vote on extending long-term unemployment, which affects another couple of million people in the United States.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we've seen that the Republican Party has become of a party of inaction, and a party that is just willing to criticize and not willing to do anything, and not willing to move forward and to find real solutions. And I think that it's hurt them as a party, and I think that it's continued, to hurt them in future elections. Yeah. Again, they have the power to do something significant in Congress. What the president did last night and what he announced last last night is merely a protection from deportation. It's not a significant immigration reform of this broken system. So they have the power as a Congress to be leaders and to really fix the system and to really do what is right for this country. I'm hopeful that, you know, they don't develop a piece of legislation that has too many poison pills, like further militarization of the border, where, you know, for so many years, for the last 6 years, we've been spending, you know, at record amounts, where the Border Patrol is the largest law enforcement agency in the country. I'm hoping that they focus on, you know, economic development of the country, that they focus on keeping families together, that they focus on, you know, providing opportunities for people. Then this is a country of immigrants, and I think that those are our core values, and I hope that they focus on that. And we know that the community will continue to fight for that type of legislation, and will continue to put pressure.
Yeah, well said. You are the executive director of the Central American Resource Center, and I'm wondering if you could speak to and educate us about the difference in the issues and crises, frankly, that young people from Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador who are showing up here in the United States, the difference of their situation and the crisis that they're facing versus people perhaps from Mexico or even from those countries who have come to the United States over the last, you know, decade or two, more for, you know, looking for a better life, economic kind of situations, as opposed to literally fleeing for their lives.
Exactly. Unfortunately, Central America, I myself, I'm from El Salvador, and this is my country, and it's really sad to see that Central America as a region is a very fragile region that is experiencing unprecedented violence. El Salvador, for example, has more homicides and violence now than during the Civil War of the 1980s and early 1990s. Honduras is the most violent nation in the world. El Salvador, unfortunately, has won the prize for killing the most children in the world. And so, you know, this is a very vulnerable, violent, insecure region where children are, as you said, are literally fleeing for their lives. They're being targeted by gangs. They're being targeted by, you know, local authorities, you know, that are still kind of lingering in this mentality of civil war. And, you know, even though the president has said that this is a humanitarian crisis, we haven't seen that in action when very quickly he asked Congress, you know, to do away with the protections given by the 2008 law. Yeah. So, you know, what we have done is that we represent a few hundred children in their cases, mostly asylum cases. We are working to make sure that they have wraparound services, in particular mental health, because they have suffered tremendous traumas, and that those families have the support that they need to move forward and hopefully have a better life.
Yeah, we just have a half a minute left. To what extent is the crisis in that area the result of the Reagan administration policies in the 80s?
Oh, very much because of it, because of U.S. foreign policy, not only the Reagan era, but, you know, NAFTA and CAFTA, because of even before that, in terms of the U.S., you know, mentality that Central America was a place where they could exercise the military. And so, you know, that continues, unfortunately.
Yeah, extraordinary. Martha, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Martha Arévalo. Am I saying that?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. The director of the Central American Resource Center, CARECEN. The website is CARECEN, CARECEN-LA.org. Thank you, Martha.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Great talking. We'll be back. It's 15 minutes past the hour.